82-71 on Saturday night. New York had 15 turnovers in the loss. Compare that to 17 in their first 2 games of the series. Tyson Chandler struggled on both ends, and this is what he had to say about the loss. I watched the tape myself, and there are open looks. We have to be willing passers. You have to sacrifice yourself sometimes for the betterment of the team and for the betterment of your teammates. Al, we'll start with you. What did you make of Tyson's comments?
Well, I mean, if you look at the Knicks, they've been playing the same way all year round. The offense is driven by Carmelo and J.R. Smith. And Tyson Chandler's been, happy to play his role, to do his part defensively, get offensive rebounds, putbacks, things like that. I understand his frustration because they lost. They struggled from the field. Sure. But that's the way that the Knicks have played all year. I mean, they got great three-point shooters, but those two guys are mainly, Carmelo and J.R. Smith, are mainly the ones that handle the ball. So I know that I think that for Tyson to help him, I know that it helps me to get him going early. Maybe throw him a bone in there, get him the ball in the post one time. Maybe run a pick and roll with Kidd or Felton and throw him a lob up to the rim. Get him going offensively. Yep. An easy basket will make a huge difference.
So is Tyson Chandler talking about JR and Carmelo, you think, specifically?
I think in part because they're holding the ball. I mean, it's a lot of isolations and things like that. And Indiana is such a great team defensively when they're on one side of the floor. If they can sit on one side, they're big, they're athletic. You're going to have a hard time getting to the basket. You're going to have a hard time scoring the ball. So they need to move the ball a little more, but that's not really their style of offense. Yeah. So I feel that for Tyson, to get him going, get him a couple easy baskets, and I think that will open his game up on defense and get him more active on offense.
Stephen A., is he right on about Tyson Chandler's comments?
No, he's not. And I'm going to tell you something right now. It's hard for me to say because Tyson Chandler, you can't find a classier guy in this league. He's a phenomenal person to talk to about the game of basketball and beyond. And I'm glad he's a member of the New York Knicks because when he plays right, there is no question that he's somebody that helps the New York Knicks in terms of accomplishing their goal. He's the emotional and spiritual leader of this team as far as I'm concerned. But Tyson Chandler wasn't paid $55 million over 4 years to average 5 points and 7 rebounds in the playoffs. He wasn't paid this amount of money and brought here in New York, by the way, I might add, at the expense of Chris Paul to look as anemic as he looked Saturday night. I have never said this about Tyson Chandler because there was never a reason to say this. And this is not a characterization of his game overall. This is about this Saturday night, Game 3. It was the worst performance of his career in a New York Knicks uniform. These quotes, while possibly accurate, are ill-timed because it comes down to a point, Al and Chris, Skip, Al and Skip. It comes down to a point where it's about you. You can point to the ball movement or lack thereof. You can point to the deficiencies in your offense and how y'all have to get it together. Tyson Chandler was outplayed by Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert looked like the second coming of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Saturday. 24 points, 12 rebounds. He was dominant. He is 2 inches taller than Tyson Chandler. He's obviously heavier and possibly stronger than Tyson Chandler. But at the same time, Tyson Chandler has some quickness. He has experience being in the league for 12 years. He knows how to play this game. He is a champion. He should have and could have played better. Just Saturday, he was awful. It is that simple. And he's got to make amends in Game 4 because if he plays the way that he played in Game 3, the bottom line is it don't matter what the New York Knicks do. They're going to lose this game. And if they lose tomorrow night, this series is over in 6 games. It's not coming back to the Garden for Game 7 because you ain't beating Indiana 3 straight. New York Knicks have got to win tomorrow night. And it starts with Tyson Chandler playing a hell of a lot better than what I saw Saturday night.
And I agree with you. And just real quick, the only thing I want to say about that is that I agree with you on Game 3, but what I'm saying is they need to get him going for Game 4 early with the baskets, just so he elevates his game again. Yeah,
he's got to help them too. Totally. He's got to help himself as well.
Totally, I agree with that.
So I don't know what the context was, Stephen A. I don't know if he was asked about this or if he volunteered it, Tyson Chandler. I'm not sure, but it comes across like he's speaking out off maybe his worst game ever as a New York Knick. This is
Yeah.
going back a year, Defensive Player of the Year. You got destroyed by Roy Hibbert. Really? You got destroyed, and you came up with 9 and 5 in 30 minutes. And it sounds like it just comes across as you're pointing the finger, especially at Carmelo, which is way out of bounds. Carmelo took 16 shots in this game, which is not out of bounds. That's not like he took 32 shots. He took 16. JR took 12. Don't point fingers. This is the wrong time. I thought Stephen A., and again, I'm looking at it from a distance. You're closer to it. I thought it was the most pathetic Knicks effort of the whole year. Again, they played so well for long stretches. Given the fact that they had won game 2 and looked pretty convincing in doing that, it almost came across like, okay, we did it. We won game 2. We're just happy to be here. Maybe we can try to win game 4. They just didn't even show up. Wrong place, wrong time to make that comment.
Well, Skip, the bottom line is it was the second worst performance. The worst performance by the New York Knicks this season actually was in Indiana during the regular season when they trailed by 39 and lost by around 36. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Again, the context to me doesn't matter. And the only reason that it doesn't matter is because I didn't hear Tyson Chandler speak about Tyson Chandler. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I don't have a problem with his quotes. And he's class personified. There's no reason to question his character in any way. He's a beautiful dude. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that when you perform the way that he performed in Game 3, when you got so flagrantly outplayed by what some would be considered to be, an average big man in Roy Hibbert, even though I like him and I like his game, and he's better than average to me. The point is that you got that badly outplayed. You need to be talking about you and what you need to do, because it don't matter if anything else happens. It don't matter if you getting outplayed like that. And by the way, they crashed the offensive rebounds. They were getting putbacks all over the place. If you rebounded, maybe they wouldn't have had so many opportunities to look so good, and you wouldn't have given them so many opportunities to look so bad. Got to crash the boards.
All right, we leave it right there. Stephen A., I need you to say goodbye to our NBA analyst for the day.
Al, you did good.